This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark Magnuson.
Hello and welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today is Friday, January 5th, 2024, and we're so glad you could join us for today's show. In today's episode, I will be joined by Kim Tutor of BASF. We will also have a check of the weather, but first, let's run down the closing markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
At the end of another trading day, joined by Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net. Curt, shortened trading week. What did we see take place here on Friday in the grains?
Well, there was no giddy up and go here this week. It was down and out from the get-go on Tuesday morning there, just not any enthusiasm just whatsoever. Finishing off the week, they put a little salt in the wound here, the weekly export sales report. Those were the sales as of last Thursday there. Of course, we were dealing with holiday trade. Wheat sales, 4.6 million metric tons. Corn sales, 14.5 million 14 million bushels. And soybean sales was 7.4 million bushels. All those are just way below what the trade was looking for on the sales. Hopefully this new week here, next week, full week, get everybody back and see a little bit more export interest. Of course, with the lower going through here, that's a function of the market to drift lower and seek out some demand. So hopefully that demand sees that we got the blue light special taking place here. Demand-wise, we'll kind of seeing this crushing margin get a little weak on us. World crushers are picking up some momentum here. Also, too, on this bio bean oil demand, we're seeing some substitutes start to show up here. Feedstocks, cooking, used vegetable oil, cooking oil, and so forth. And so this enthusiasm on bean oil and the new bio plants coming along is probably just going to take a little time here yet. Also, the ethanol margins are getting a little skinny. There's still good demand on it, but the margins are just getting kind of tight here. So there's a little concern, maybe a little slowdown. So demand is the question mark here as we move forward. But we'll have a better picture of this demand on next Friday, a week from today. We'll see another demand report. They'll just yield. And what they're looking at maybe is slightly better yield prospects. And the production numbers are slightly higher. Ending stocks might be a little higher because they're not going to probably change demand a whole lot until we see what the quarterly grain stocks report. Probably the biggest report there next Friday is the quarterly grain stocks report. That'll measure how many bushels we have on farm and in the elevator. And that's our first benchmark for this marketing year. Also, too, on the supply demand side, mainly the supply side, of course, as everybody's been well watching here, is this South American, particularly Brazilian production estimate. There's trade estimates clear down to 125 million metric tons. And that is quite a bit below what we think it'll come in at. A lot of the trades in this 155 million metric ton area. Originally, Brazil's production estimates clear up around 165. Boots on the ground says it's a lot worse than that, but we'll see. There's still 6 months opposite us. They still have some time in their growing season. Of course, the early beans are hurt, and a lot of that did not get replanted. The question would be how many acres did get planted and how many harvested acres are going to take place. So that's a long, drawn-out process. But the bears continue to tout that Paraguay and Argentina is going to make up that difference. So if you add a smaller Brazilian crop and a bigger Paraguay and Argentina crop, that's going to make up quite a bit of ground there. So we'll see those numbers a week from today. The other thing is the trading commodities just aren't cool right now. What I mean by that, we're losing the interest of the public. Index funds have the smallest long position in 17 years. Now, the index funds, they consistently have a long position in the marketplace, and you always got those trading funds that's either long or short, but the index funds is not hanging on to the big long position they've had on here for quite some time. So we need some news to rejuvenate that or turn this technical picture back up. When we look at the technical picture for the week, corn was down 10.5 cents. We're messing with the lower end of that channel. If we go much lower here, that could generate some more selling interest. Some analysts are talking 250, 245 up front here in the corn. Soybeans, they gapped lower Tuesday morning and did not look back. And we closed at the bottom end of the weekly range, which is fairly negative. Beans finished over 41 cents lower on the week. This gap lower for the new year is just kind of a concern. 1263, 1260, we need to get back above that to kind of minimize the damage. And the wheat market was down, or actually up 12 cents for the week. It had an outside up day there on Thursday. And part of that was due to talk of maybe China needing some additional wheat from the U.S., but a lot of it's spread activity. If they're buying wheat, they're selling beans, or buying corn, selling wheat. There was quite a bit of spread activity that took place then. But next week will be a big week. We'll see what the weather maps show Sunday night, Monday morning. Of course, in the week, we'll see what the government numbers are.
Earlier in this trading week, on the other side of the ag marketplace, we finally saw some movement to the upside for the cattle market. Backed off just a little bit yesterday. What did we see happen in the ag side, in the livestock side of the ag marketplace today?
They were actually the ability to hold in there. Demand starting to pick up just a tad bit, and technically pretty good week. The fat market up front, Febs were up over $2 for the week, kind of making a stair-step up approach here. Hopefully we'll stair-step up and not take the elevator down anymore in through here. Key support up front's 170. See if we can get some higher cash trade. We got a winter storm or a lot of weather coming at us this coming week, so we'll see how the market absorbs that. Hogs, they were actually up $2 on the week too. So the bulls were in the meat pit, but not in the grain pit. The hogs were recorded a weekly price reversal to the upside. They went below the previous week's low and closed higher. So actually, we've got a yearly reversal going. I know we got a whole year to go, but there's some optimism there. But pork-wise, we're seeing some good demand here start to pick up. Loins are 80 cents a pound. Bellies, $1.04. The ham, 77 cents a pound. So those are still economic values at the wholesale level.
Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net, our guest here today. Thank you so much for the analysis as always, Curt. What is the best way for our listeners, our viewers, to get in touch for more marketing information?
1-800-779-1515, or else you go to agmarket.net. And we've got a big seminar in Nashville the first weekend in February there. Got a lot of good speakers there. Click on her and check it out.
Thanks so much to Curt Kimmel. Have a great rest of your day and a great weekend.
Very good. Stay safe and have a good weekend.
Thank you to Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net for our closing market analysis. Let's turn our attention now to the closing numbers, which are found on our website at iowaagnet.com under the Markets tab. March corn down 5 3/4 at 460 3/4. March soybeans down 11 1/4 at 1256 1/4. March soybean meal down $6.80 at 369.40. March soybean oil down 53 cents at 47.63. Chicago wheat up 2 1/2 at 6.16 even. Minneapolis wheat up 3/4 cent at 7.12 even. Kansas City hard red wheat up 2 1/4 at 6.28 even. March oats down 12 even at 3.53 even. On the Merc, February live cattle down 55 cents at 170.57. January feeder cattle down $1.55 at 223.12. February lean hogs up 95 cents at 70 even. February pork cutout up $1.27 at 83 even, and Class 3 milk down 13 cents at 15.13. And that does it for our closing market coverage here on Ag Matters PM. It is time now to take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soybean Checkoff. And when we come back, I will be joined by Kim Tutor of BASF.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
You're watching Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. In today's show, I'm joined by Kim Tutor of BASF. Mark Magnuson for the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. We are at Trade Talk at NAFB 2023, and I'm with Kim Tutor of BASF, and we're here to talk fungicide today, Kim. And you told me before we started here today, your area of expertise is corn. What diseases are we specifically targeting here? I know there's a lot to think about, but what are top of mind right now as far as disease pressure?
Good morning, Mark. Thanks for the opportunity to speak with you. I would say for corn growers, probably the disease that's most top of mind that's been a ton of conversation around is actually tar spot. Tar spot was first discovered in the U.S. back in 2015, but since then it's spread to upwards of 19 states. And the interesting thing about tar spot is if we think back over this past season, in general, the Midwest was pretty hot and dry. There were pockets that got some rain showers towards the end of the season, but what's interesting to me is that if you look at that IPM pipe map for tar spot, the disease has continued to spread. And I think what's important for folks to keep in mind is that when you think back to that disease triangle, there are three pieces you need. You need the host, corn, we got plenty of that, right? You need the pathogen, well, we know we've got it. And you just need the right environmental conditions. And so I think it's important for folks to not take that wait and see approach and to be proactive, scout early, scout often, and make sure that you're having conversations about those proactive and preventative fungicide applications. Because when it comes to tar spot, by the time you've seen a lesion, that disease could have been inside that plant for upwards of 14 to 20 days. So inside that plant, wreaking havoc, decreasing photosynthesis, and really robbing you of your yield potential.
So unfortunately, tar spot falls into that category of one of these diseases that can be very much affecting your yields, affecting your plant health, and you don't even know it until it's a little bit too late.
Exactly. And that's why Veltima fungicide is going to be your best tool in the battle against tar spot. So you're going to get that incredible disease control, right, against tar spot and other diseases in corn, gray leaf spot, anthracnose, the blights, northern and southern blight, as well as rust. But you're also going to get environmental stress mitigation. So in the event that it's another hot and dry year, a product like Veltima is going to help your plants' stomates, think of it like the pores on your skin, stay open, right? Better gas exchange, cooler canopy temperatures. But you're also going to get improved growth efficiency. So helping those plants better absorb and utilize nitrogen and water and other nutrients that ultimately is going to drive yield and going to help protect your investment.
And Kim, what I learned, I had a chance to go to the BASF Field Day in Story City this fall, and I know that moisture we have found is obviously a driving factor in tar spot. And I believe I had this right, that one of the experts there from BASF said that it can take as little as 7 hours of having just some moisture, whether it's dew or a little bit of rain, to help tar spot develop. Is that true?
It's absolutely true. You only need about 4 to 7 hours of leaf wetness. So if you think about it, we don't, in a year in particular where it's really hot and dry, when do you get moisture? Well, you may not have much, but you think about it when those temperatures cool down at night and that condensation on the plant. So a lot of times the infection can start at night, and that's what a lot of folks don't think about because they're in bed and they're asleep, right? But those infections can start then, and that's really when that disease can get rolling. So no, it doesn't take much.
So in addition to tar spot, what other diseases have you been focused on?
Well, I would say in the 2023 season, southern rust did start to blow into the Midwest, but it came in kind of late, so not a ton of impact there. But
Is that a disease we have in Iowa?
It comes in really late. Yes, it basically blows in from the south. So it is dependent on the wind patterns and whether we're having kind of an El Nino year or a La Nina year. But rust is something that folks do keep in mind. Gray leaf spot is also something to keep an eye out for, as well as the blights, anthracnose, stalk rots, things like that. But I think tar spot is the one that's most top of mind for folks.
So are there any other mitigation tools that you would like to tell our growers back in Iowa about ways that they can help fight these diseases?
Yeah, it comes back to having that proactive approach. Don't Don't wait until you see a lesion, right? Have conversations with your agronomist, with your retailers, with your BASF representative to learn about our products. So if you're a corn grower, let's start asking about Veltima in corn, and for soybeans, Revitech or Revilock. And to learn more, they can go to revitech.com, revilock.com, or veltima.com.
She is Kim Tutor with BASF. Kim, is there anything else you'd like to let our growers back in Iowa know about what BASF is working on for the future and helping them to continue to grow those yield numbers and improve their plant health, or I should say keep their plants healthy?
For sure. I would say BASF is committed to helping farmers get the most out of every acre, and we're always trying to bring products to market to address their issues and the battles that they're having to deal with every day. So again, know and feel confident that the products that we bring to market are going to help your plants mitigate stress regardless of the year and protect your investment.
Kim Tutor, BASF, thank you so much for the time here at Trade Talk. Have a great rest of the show.
Thanks, you too.
Thank you to Kim Tutor of BASF. It is time now for a check of the ag weather outlook. Very overcast and chilly around the state of Iowa here today. As we look at tonight's forecast, going to cool off a little bit, and then tomorrow it will be even a little bit colder than today. But the important part is that we have snow chances, widespread snow chances for much of the state of Iowa. So let's turn our attention now to the National Weather Service and what's in store for the next 24 hours. As you can see from the National Weather Service, mostly cloudy with areas of patchy fog today. High temperatures expected 34 to 38. For this evening, cloudy with a chance of snow, 25 to 27 the low temperature range. And for Saturday, mostly cloudy with a chance of snow, high temperature range expected 32 to 37. And now taking a look at our affiliate weather map for tomorrow. Cherokee, a chance for snow, high of around 32. Shenandoah, mostly cloudy, then a slight chance of snow, high of 37. Des Moines, mostly cloudy, then a slight chance of snow, high around 35. Albia, mostly cloudy, then a slight chance of snow, high of 36. Waterloo, mostly cloudy, high of 35. Clinton, chance for snow, high around 36. For a more detailed forecast in your part of the state, and especially to make sure and find out what about those snow chances in your area and whether or not you are going to receive some potential snow in the next 24-hour period, head to your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's going to do it for our Ag Weather Outlook. That also wraps up this episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification icon as well there, as that will let you know whenever we have any new videos available. Also, you can follow us on social media on Facebook, X, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And don't forget about our free twice daily market podcasts, which are found on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. For Riley Smith, Dustin Huffman, and Andy Peterson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.